No. Or not. And welcome to another edition of West Catholic Live. I am the principal, Tony Fisher, and I'm co-hosting today with a very special guest, our new president and CEO delegate, Ms. Jill Annable. Welcome, Jill. Good to have you on the show.
It's good to be here.
Good. Jill's very nervous, everyone. So be kind and generous with your comments. And we're going to do our very best to provide nonstop information about West Catholic High School and all the wonderful things going on here, all the wonderful people, all the wonderful students that do great and amazing things each and every day. So once again, Jill, welcome. I thought it would be fun to maybe get started by letting you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, a little more about what the people should know as you embark on this new position.
Okay. Well, I'm a graduate, just like you. Yeah. Class of 02 here. What year are you representing?
Older than 02.
Older than
1995. And I had the pleasure of going to school with Jill's older brother.
Yes. Lots of people around campus who graduated in our years and around us. So that's good. I was a teacher here a while back as well. So I grew up in our schools, but then went away to teach in public schools, came back to teach here, thought I'd retire here, but since then moved on to work in the diocese as assistant superintendent, and then off to NCA as a senior vice president of programs. But I'm back now. I'm back home. It's like a homecoming.
Yeah, and I remember you saying that in the interview process, and I remember thinking that's awesome, just to come back home. It definitely feels like that for me as well. And so, again, we're excited to have you here. Certainly look forward to all the great things that you're going to bring to the school. Jill will be working with Cindy until her retirement again in January. Her official retirement is January 20, and Jill will be working alongside of her throughout this time, gradually taking over things, I believe, from her as we get closer and closer to that date. And then she is going to be full-time and hit the ground running on January, I believe, 21st, or unless that's the weekend.
Somewhere in there. And I don't know, but trying to follow Cindy is a problem in itself because she's on fire. So she goes everywhere, does everything, can make decisions so quickly and so eloquently that I am literally walking in her shadow now, trying to learn everything I can from her each day. So it's a blessing, and the community's been great.
Yeah, that's a good description, by the way. I mean, she does go with a flurry. Most of you have heard we started a daycare. I mean, that was just kind of, okay, we're doing this, let's go. Yeah. And it's been fantastic. And so, again, we're excited to have you. I look forward to all the great things. And maybe we can get into some content. What do you think? Share some information. Let's see. What do we have going on here? Looks like Gonzo, you put your hard hat on. Do a little interview for construction. How about a construction update?
Hey, Jan, how's it going?
Good morning, Gonzo. Doing good today. How about yourself?
Checking out the baseball fields, huh?
Yeah, we are, yes. And we're standing on the bleacher location. So we're looking at fine grading for all the walks and drives. And we're actually paving tomorrow. So all this gravel that you see down is going to be asphalt. And then we'll wrap up behind that and start doing the grading and landscaping behind it. Over at football, the bleachers are high 95% complete. We have a couple structural items to finish and some electrical. And then we're going to start next week, we're going to put in the brick pavers and all the walkways and ramps and all of that. So by the end of next week, that should be 100% complete, short of maybe some minor landscape items. So we're on schedule, looking good over there. And then up at tennis, fences complete, a couple minor items left there. And next week, we're going to be doing the coatings. So by the end of next week, that should be mostly complete. And then again, we'll be doing some landscape and wrapping up some items over there. So everything's looking good and on schedule.
Awesome. And I noticed too here at the baseball and softball fields, you know, there's a path being put in, right?
Yes. Yep. The walkway will go all the way from that end. We have a donor bench location, and then we're going to have full ADA access on both sides. You'll be able to come in up there and park, and come on down all the way to this area. And then on this side here, all that parking will also have ADA access and some more actual asphalt parking locations. And that again is being paved tomorrow. So we'll have great progress starting tomorrow.
Thanks for the update.
You betcha.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Bailey, for the video. We got a little bit off script. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on here in the studio, which is fine. It's good. It's part of being on a live show, right? But every week we do a segment to give you some updates, some news. It's called the Weekly Chatter. So we're going to go ahead and give you a couple of those brief announcements. Just so everybody is clear, breakfast and dinner will start after the holiday. We're not doing breakfast and dinner in the lunchroom right now. They will restart on Tuesday of next week. So,
And it's free. Breakfast and dinner are free.
I think so.
Yes.
Everything but lunch is free, right? So breakfast and dinner are free again. So
Yeah, let's take advantage of that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yesterday we had the new Parent Guild get together. It was great to meet them all. We had a welcome back coffee event, an open house, and then we went to mass together. It was fantastic. That's organized by Renee Rousseau and Christina O'Brien. It was nice to meet them. They're going to host faith and fellowship events throughout the year. So keep an eye out for that. Just if you can't attend all the Parent Guild meetings, you can still jump into events. They're talking about book studies. They're talking about different things to support the faith community and all things parent related. So that's fantastic. If you are interested in learning more about the Parent Guild or getting involved yourself, you can email parentguild@grwestcatholic.org.
Yeah, very exciting. That's a new thing for us this year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they do.
That's good. So heads up, our annual Grandparents VIP Mass is on Tuesday, September 13th. It's at 10:20, which is when Mass is every week. An RSVP went out in the weekly chatter, so look for that. It's great to see all those grandparents come back. And it's open to anyone who wants to attend Mass, but with a focus on grandparents and VIPs.
Yeah, and it's a great focus. Love seeing all of the grandparents come back, sit with their students when their students can sit with them as well, just to see and be a good example for our kids when they're younger and getting ready to, make decisions for themselves, I guess, about those sorts of things. Also, are you thinking about the cost of tuition at West Catholic? That's fantastic. You can save the date for financial planning for Catholic schools, K-12 and beyond. We're going to do this event on Thursday, September 29th at 6:30 p.m. More information will be shared soon. Are you a part of that, Jill?
Well, I will be there, but the biggest thing I wanted to focus on was that this is open to all parents. You don't have to wait till you're in eighth grade. You have an eighth grader to come. So if you have a kindergartner or preschooler, if you have friends, you're excited about West Catholic, but your friends don't know, that is a possibility to plan for financially. Great advice is going to happen that night. So join us for more information or just if you're curious.
Yeah, great. Really is a good event for us, considering the cost. It is an investment. We know it is. And we want to do our best to provide you all the information that will help.
And that will be, Mrs. Knivel is the one doing that event. So she's a wealth of knowledge, and we want to make sure we capture that.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Get to know Jill some more. Mr. Bailey, do we have a graphic on this?
Oh,
no.
There I am.
And there you are. And it looks to me like the graduates of 2002 probably should consider a job in telling the future.
I know.
I mean,
who knew?
Most likely to be president.
There I am.
And here you are with the title. Designate for now.
Designate,
but at the same time, you will be there. So, excellent.
Do you want to tell us what your question was? Is this a future episode, or can I put them on the spot? Oh,
no. I didn't know you guys grabbed those. Thank you. Yes, that was me.
So also can predict the future. Most involved still are.
Yes, I do a few things around here. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Mr. Bailey. Very nice. How about that shirt? Fashion back then was rough. Although I bet you our students are probably a little bit jealous because we did not have a uniform.
We did not have a uniform. But do you know how often we were pulled into the office because there was a code, but it was complicated to figure out what to wear, what to shop for.
Right. And then colored jeans came out and that made it way worse.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah.
Great shirt. Do you still have the shirt?
I don't think so.
Okay. Speaking of shirts, so my All A's walk, here we go with All A's. Ollie's is always around my birthday, which is also Pulaski weekend,
Oh,
which
boy.
is all big events for us. But on my 18th birthday was my Ollie's walk, and we had the tie-dye shirts. That's when we walked with Catholic Central and West Catholic. Next to me is Cody Pummel O'Doherty. To my left is Joe Gray, who was warned that this is. So when you photobomb into people's pictures on purpose back in 2002, it might show up 20 years later on Facebook Live. So Ryan Hardy, Joe Gray, thank you for joining our picture on
Ryan
that lovely
Hardy.
Ollie's walk 21 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
21
I did
years
not
ago.
warn my master of ceremonies for homecoming. I was mistress of ceremonies, giving speeches back in 2001. Neil Canfield and I were giving your speech for homecoming.
Holy moly. You guys really dug in deep, producers. Thank you so much
I
for
didn't know
this.
that one was going to
Wow.
show up. So
I didn't
thank you.
either, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So now you know everything you need to know about me.
yeah, well, at least when you were a student,
Yes.
right? How about now? Married, kids, family life? What do you got?
Yes.
Okay.
Nick and I have 2 kids. They're over at St. Anthony, so 3rd grader and 6th grader. They're very
Mhm.
excited for my role here because they're just down the road and we get to go to all kinds of events today. Volleyball game. Daughter gets to come to varsity volleyball with me tonight to watch the girls play. So
That'll be exciting.
yes, very excited for the future Falcons. They're glad to have mom back home. I've been out traveling quite a bit with NCA, so that was my previous role, and now I'm back on campus.
Awesome. All right. How about this last one? Have you thought about the goals you might have for this place and the impact you want to have
Yeah.
on it?
Well, the good news here is that first I get to listen. I get to listen to everyone who has their hands on this campus. This school is home for so many people. I mean, now we're touching this 3rd generation of students, and it is home to all of us. And so listening to the community and all of its various forms over the next few months means that when it's time to really build a strategic vision in the next 5 years, but the next 20, 25 years of this school, it's been a great foundation that Mrs. Knievel and the whole staff has built. I mean, just today I was looking at these brand new boilers, which I know it's not exciting to most people, but I've seen the boilers of all 31 schools in this diocese, and it's incredible to know that this foundation of building this building out and all the strategy around here is for this next generation. So the foundation is laid, and now we get to dream big about what our children, yours included, too.
Yes.
You're also a parent around here. What this will look like for the next generation is important to me. So lots of listening before we put any plans on paper.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. And, if you were somebody that went to school like back when Jill and I did, or even before that, that the place has already changed a significant amount from
Right.
those days. And we want to make sure that we just don't settle and we keep improving it and making it better and better for
Yeah.
each and every class.
And anyone who hasn't toured recently, it was fun to bring back. My mom and her friends are in those first graduating classes, and they could still see the old school. Like they could still see parts of it. And you walk down the hallways, there's still parts of it that feel nostalgic. But then once you get into these spaces, it looks completely new and refreshed. So looking forward to getting the community back in here.
Yeah, that's exciting. So we saw a picture of you in your All A's t-shirt.
Yes.
And we are in All A's mode right now
sure
as
are.
we speak. And I think we have our volleyball coach and the assistant in the development office, Megan Eversman, to talk to us a little bit about the All A's.
Now, Megan, this
Fundraiser.
is like one of the school's biggest fundraisers, right? One of the biggest events that we do.
Yeah. Besides auction, it's one of our biggest ones.
Yeah. And so typically, how much will we raise every year?
So our internal goal is to raise $60,000 is the overall goal. So,
Overall goal. And
Yep.
they said tuition assistance. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah. Yep. So all of the money that's raised goes directly towards tuition assistance. So any families that are in need of that financial aid, this all goes to that big pot that we try to raise as a development staff. And it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's great every year. So this money goes to help. And would you say like, I don't even put you on the spot here,
No.
but do like half the students are on some kind of tuition assistance, or do you have any breakdowns at all?
I don't know the exact breakdown.
that's okay.
I know we're like probably in the high 40s,
Yeah.
maybe low 50s, but I don't know the exact number.
Maybe that's why I'm guessing like
unfortunately.
50%
Yeah.
get some kind of tuition assistance.
Yeah. So we always say in years past, if you're sitting between two of your friends, look to your right, look to your left, close your eyes and imagine yourself not sitting next to one of those people. If it weren't for tuition assistance, then that person missing wouldn't be able to attend West Catholic and get the rich Catholic education that all these students should be getting.
Right. So if anyone wants to get involved, anyone listening to the podcast today, because I assume we have, parents, grandparents,
Yes.
maybe people that just stumbled upon this podcast and said, what is West Catholic and how do I help with this all A's event? Because it's a campaign, I would think, because it ends with a walk, right?
It does. It ends with a walk. We, in years past, have gone to John Ball Zoo with Catholic Central, but in years past, we've now shifted to walk over to St. Anne's and do a prayer circle, essentially, as we're walking over through their campus, I guess if you want to call it. So it ends there, but really it all kicks off today. So all the kids are going to get all the information they need. When's the day of the walk? How much do I have to raise? What's our goal? And just what it's all about. And then our first collection is going to be this Thursday, September 1st.
September 1st is the first collection.
Yes.
In the households?
Yeah, yep. So they'll do collections during households so they can bring their money with them and give it to their captains. They'll record everything. Or if they know somebody that maybe lives out of town or out of state, there is the option to donate online as well.
And just go to grwestcatholic.org?
Yeah, I can't remember the /, but if they go to grwestcatholic.org and go to our giving page, there's a link there for all A's that they can click on and donate through there.
What is the final deadline to donate?
The final deadline is the day of the walk, Tuesday, October 4th.
Okay. And then if someone wants to be a sponsor, they can still do that?
They can still do that. Our sponsor cutoff is September 19th to get on like t-shirts and banners. But if they miss a deadline, we'll still be able to honor them online and at some of our other events too.
And again,
Can you point at us?
Huh? All right, we're
Okay.
back.
We are back. So first collection for all A's is tomorrow. So September 1st is the first
okay.
collection
Wow.
day. We want to make sure everyone knows that. That means that your students are out and about talking to you, talking to your family, talking to alumni that you know, and anyone who would love to give to that collection. Those collections are happening on Mondays and Thursdays. That's happening in households.
Yep.
And each student's goal is $75.
Yeah, I feel like that has barely changed that goal, $75. I think it was $75.
remember that number. Yeah,
Maybe it was 60.
60.
50 or 60. It was
Yeah.
a weird random number of $60
Yeah.
or something. And there are incentives for the students, the whole school, in fact.
Mhm.
If we meet our goal, gets a day off. So we hope they get up and do their job. Not only does it help our kids, right? But again,
Yeah.
see the
And
fruits of the
huge
labor.
thanks to all of you who continuously give to that. And this really is student led. So you really should be hearing from the students. We know it's coming every year, those of us that are around in the community, but please let us take the lead on that so that they can go out and advocate for loving this place as much as the rest of us.
Yeah, and if a student asks you, don't be afraid to ask them questions about West Catholic
Yes.
and see if they can get those answered. It's good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I think I remember being in high school when we first started it, and we had white shirts with
That's right.
pink
You were
purple
talking about
letters.
this. You were
So
one of those first classes.
I was in Mrs. Naraki's first year, I believe.
I was in Mr. Meisner's final year.
Were
I
you?
was his lieutenant. We had a captain lieutenant. I was lieutenant of Mr. Meisner's final all A's walk.
All right. I didn't know we had
Two
lieutenants.
legends.
Did we have that?
Maybe I made it up. I was just like the president. I was practicing. I was giving myself titles probably.
Nice. Okay. Enough about the All A's walk.
Yes.
We do have a wonderful band. As you know, I've said it 100 times. If I've said it once, tons of good footage. They do amazing things. And they had a very busy summer. I think we have a recap of what they were up to.
Hi, Darren Laprise here, proud director of bands here at West Catholic High School, to tell you a little bit about the summer that we had with the West Catholic Band program. Starting off, we got to play at the ordination and celebration of our new chaplain at West Catholic, Father David Saha. What a blast doing this for a former band member and musician. It was so great to be there with his family out there at the cathedral. And speaking of alumni doing great things, this is Alex Zodko, who's now touring the country with Ryan Waters and their band. That's him playing at the birthday bash. And here we are with our middle schoolers doing a West Side summer band. Middle school students from all over the area join us and are tutored by our high school students as part of our program. We even have a couple alumni that don't want to give up doing it, so they're now in college and come back and help us. It's a great program to get kids interested in West Catholic and the West Catholic band program. And then we got right to work. This is our band camp. The beginning, you can see it's hot, it's early. We're there from 8 to 5 every day last week of July. And, and that doesn't mean things like our jazz band stop. This is us preparing for a festival that we did out in Grand Haven called Walk the Beat. And even some senior alumni came back and to play with us. It was a great festival. We had a great time. Here you can see he is not a student. This is Mike Mahevich, newest member of our team. And here he is to tell you a little bit about camp.
How has band camp gone?
It is amazing. It's the best year ever.
Really? Why is that?
I think because they're doing things right the first time, every time, which is one thing that is just, it's like the Navy SEALs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing is attitude. I think when things go wrong, we just kind of say good, because now we've gone through that and we're stronger than people who haven't gone through that. And we're giving 110% effort, and we've got talent. And all those things are coming together for one thing: victory.
So band camp concludes with us with a series of rehearsals called tune-up rehearsals, and then we have a performance for the parents. Call it our cookie performance, because we share cookies after the parents get to see the band perform. This year was no exception. It was a great success. We had a great time. A lot of really excited freshmen, a lot of really excited students for the show this year. This summer we have the West Catholic Marching Band ready to perform for the kickoff. We'll see you this fall. Show up at the football games. God bless West.
That was fantastic. Our band is out and about everywhere. We'll see them at the Pulaski Parade, which is always my favorite. That's October 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which side of town the Pulaski Parade is on. We'll have to catch up on that.
Oh, yeah,
so
good
we know
question.
where the route is.
Flip-flops every year, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I'm not sure where we're at on that. But also every home football game, you're going to see the band. And great halftime show, by the way. So that just got to see it last weekend, and it was good.
Yeah, it was fun to watch them over the summer practicing it, even up until last week. And it was good. I remember, I think it was just a couple weeks ago, they were out in Grand Haven in the rain playing, which was very cool. Maybe that was just the jazz band. But again, Mr. LaFrida does a great job with the band. Again, going back to high school, I still remember our band when I was in high school was like 9 guys.
It was
and
so
they
small when
like,
I was there, yeah.
it was like a real rock band. There was bass and a couple electric guitars, and they just played like Metallica and Guns N' Roses on the sideline, which was fun.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, Mr. Pretty great job.
Yes. Okay, so it was fun to be on the sidelines on Friday night. That was my first time standing on the sidelines of a game. We were at Hope College. It was a blast. So let's hear from Coach Grove. He is going to talk to Gonzo about that big game.
How's it going, Coach Grove?
Going great, man. Another beautiful day on the west side of the valley. Glad to be here. 1-0.
I loved how last week's show you was like, I don't care if we win 100-99 or 2-0. A win's a win, and I guess that held true.
It is, yeah. We started out hot and fast, and I remember looking up at the scoreboard midway through the third quarter, and we're up 28-0. I'm like, okay, at what point in time is Edwards going to make their run? Because obviously everyone knows they're a really good football team, and it was kind of one of those things where I knew it was a matter of time before they settled in, and luckily we jumped out and kind of jumped them a little bit. But again, yeah, if you'd have told me before the game started that we were going to win 28-20, I'd hug you and say thank you. That sounds great. So we'll take them any way we can get them, especially against good football programs like them.
Game number one, you're at Hope College. What was the environment like? I know the student body was there. They were loud. The band was great. The support from your fans and the touchdown club and the community. I mean, it was a great environment.
Yeah, it was special. It's always fun for your kids to kind of feel like what a college game day atmosphere feels like. Our fan base traveled well as they always do, and Edwardsburg brought a lot of people as well for as far as they came. It's just one of those things where, for me, the first game here at West Catholic leading this team, I expected it to be sweet, and I expected it to be well attended. And then when you get out there, like for the start of the game, you look behind you, it's like, oh, there's like nowhere to sit on our side. Right. Our students are all the way up to the top. They're packed, they're loud. Our stands are standing up and cheering every third down. So the support, it means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to our kids. And I think it made a difference. Like, we fed off their enthusiasm. I think they fed off us a little bit, and that always helps. And I've always welcomed a good crowd that's engaged in the game. You can tell our fans know their football. Anytime it was third down and we're trying to get them loud for our defense, they were getting loud. They were standing up, and our students were phenomenal as well. That's always been something that I think is like the pageantry of high school football, is when the band's involved and the student body's involved. And, if you think about the size of our school enrollment wise, it's like every kid that goes to West Catholic was dang near at the game, which when you take into account the kids on our team, the kids in the band, and the kids that participate in the student section, it's a pretty special thing to see how many students are involved on Friday nights.
Yeah, they're probably 80% of our student body there.
At least, yeah, at least
maybe more.
And
yeah.
then you take into the faculty and rest of the staff, man, it's I would say over 80% of the people in this building here this afternoon are probably at the game, which means a lot to me, and it shows why this place is a special place that a lot of people care about it.
All right. Thanks, Gonzo. And thanks, Coach Grove, for those words about the game last week. Don't forget that Coach does a podcast every Monday with Gonzo, and he gets that posted usually on Mondays, talking about the past week's game and then maybe looking forward a little bit to the next week's game. Speaking of our next game tomorrow night at Ferndale in Detroit area, in the Detroit area, north side of Detroit, kind of by Royal Oak. We will head over there and play the game at 7:00. We still have a few spots left on the student buses. We have 2 student buses heading over there tomorrow evening, and we have a few spots left. So if you wanted to get on that bus, save some gas money, roll with your friends, make sure you get in the athletic office and sign up as soon as possible with Cam. I don't believe there is a cost to it, nor do I know what time they're leaving.
I don't know what time they're leaving
Just
either.
you'll get it when you sign up.
However, there's a lot of people going to away games. I didn't realize that. So if you're new to this community, please know that people are excited about athletics, even when they're away games. So thank you, community, for supporting our teams in such a big way. The big question is, are you driving the bus for the students?
No, I will not be driving the bus.
Okay.
Not my thing. So, and I will be going over there though with my family, just because my son dresses and
Fantastic.
everything. So,
Good.
yeah, I'm excited for that stuff. So, don't forget too that we have a new podcast coming up all about sports, hosted by the one and only DJ Cammy B, Cam Birds in the athletic office. Cam's going to give us the scoop on all of our sports teams, as well as what to look forward to. And joining him will be senior Emma Christian. We're excited about Emma's leading up the student section, so to speak, in terms of themes and cheers and the spirit leaders. So she's going to be joining Cam each week. We talk about all the different athletics going on.
Yeah.
So
It's good to have students getting this experience to be at the mic and being leaders like they all are as graduates. So I applaud those efforts, and good luck to Emma in that role.
her first one, she might be nervous, and Joe can help her.
Yeah, I'm
a little
nervous
bit,
too,
right?
so here we go.
There you go. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jill, for co-hosting. Hope you made it through okay. And
I'm okay.
It wasn't that bad, was
No, it
it?
was fun.
It's
I
kind
was
of fun.
Mr. Fisher makes me nervous because you never know. He's going to go off script and throw me off, but you're
Curveballs.
kind. Thank you
Yes.
for being kind.
Yeah. I made sure to
First one.
welcome you for the first one, right? And then I'll start ribbing you like Gonzo and Jeff get after me each week on the show. So if you missed any part of our show, you can catch the podcast. It does get downloaded as a podcast. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and you can go to our website and click a link to find it. So don't forget to check us out on all those different episodes on our podcast. Again, this season 2, only episode 3. although this is only the second one with volume and sound. So really it's episode 2. But again, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Jill, once again for co-hosting. I look forward to seeing you and Gonzo doing this together at some
Maybe.
point in time.
Maybe.
And all of you out there, have a wonderful Wednesday, and look forward to seeing you again next week, Wednesday at 3 o'clock on West Catholic Live.
Thank you.